Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Today's story begins in the year 1952 and is set at the College of the Holy Cross. The fall semester is beginning to wind down as winter begins to quickly approach New England. Our story begins with two young boys studying for finals in the Fitzgerald Library on the fourth floor of Fenwick Hall. Their names are James Murphy and Henry Walsh. It is a dark and stormy Friday night, and the hall is devoid of other students. The sound of silence echoes off the halls and allows the two boys to hear every raindrop and clap of thunder as the storm casts a shadow on the campus. Both James and Murphy are in their freshman year, and the stress over finals is starting to grow. These two close friends both agreed to stay up working in the darkened blackness of the night. Let us begin on our look at this story.
I don't know how I'm going to pass this history final. My parents expect me to do well, and if I don't, they'll have a cow.
I know. This paper I'm working on is due in 7 hours, and I still have to write 2 pages. Wait, is that the clock toll? What time is it?
Good gravy. It's already 2 in the morning.
James approaches the window and hears the pitter-patter of rain.
Man, it's really coming down out there. Say, I think I left my jacket back in my dorm.
Ah, shoot, me too. We'd better stay inside and just keep working until it passes.
James and Henry would continue to work on their papers for another 45 minutes before they decided to pack up their work and return to their dorm.
Well, this paper is about as good as it's going to get, and I'm beat. I'm going to head out.
Rain's died down too. I'll come with.
Just as the boys begin to stand up, their conversation is cut short by the sound of a muffled scream and shattering glass emitting from further down the hallway.
Jiminy Jillikers! What the hell could that have been at this hour?
I don't know, but it sounds like trouble. Let's check it out.
No way. I'm going to bed. This is none of our business.
What if somebody gets hurt? We really oughta.
Alright, fine. But I ain't losing any sleep over this.
The two boys begin to pack up their bags. The lights in the room flicker and then turn off, surrounding them in a blanket of darkness.
Hey, what's the big idea?
We better find some candles or a flashlight. Let's look around.
The boys clumsily look through the drawers of the small library, where they eventually find 2 thin candles.
Hey, Henny, give me your Zippo. I found some candles.
Alright, here.
There we go. Let there be light.
Now that the young men have found a light to cut through the building's shadowy halls, they leave the library and begin to approach the direction of the scream. While walking down the hall, Henry sees a door that has been left ajar. He cracks open the door and looks inside.
Hey, this looks like the breaker room. Maybe we can get the lights back on. I just have to open up the box. Alright, let's see what we got here. This is odd. The main power cord has been cut.
Now, why the hell would somebody cut the main power cord at 2 in the morning? None of this adds up. You think it has something to do with the scream?
I don't know, but maybe we should just go. Wait, you smell that?
Smell what?
I smell a cigarette. There's definitely somebody else here. I think it smells coming from the top of these stairs.
Oh, we should investigate. Besides, if they got smokes, I'm gonna bum one off them. Could use a good pick-me-up anyway.
The young men begin to climb the stairs, following the smell of smoke.
Hey, Henny, you hear the tunes?
What in the world is going on up there?
At the top of the stairs, the boys can hear classical music playing from further in the room.
Man, I can't see a thing. Hello?
Just as James speaks, a flash of lightning illuminates the room, which they quickly realize a split second, the two young men can see the silhouette of a young woman laying on the ground.
Hey, lady, you okay? We thought we heard a scream. Hey, you hear me?
As Henry approaches the silhouette, a second lightning strike lights up the room. Henry quickly realizes why this young woman was not calling back to him. What he saw was truly horrifying. He saw a young woman laying on her back, with her white dress splattered with blood. Stick around and we will return to the exciting story of the two young men following this ad from our sponsor.
Thirsty people everywhere prefer ice-cold Pepsi-Cola. And because it's light, it refreshes without filling.
Charlie, be sociable.
I am, Kay. Pepsi is a favorite of thirsty people from Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida.
Charlie,
It's perfect for parties or picnics, so serve Pepsi to your guests.
that's helpful, but
This is the sociable part. Keep plenty of Pepsi ice-cold and ready. Remember, it goes fast because everybody likes Pepsi.
singing still sounds more inviting. May I?
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
But singing doesn't say, pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today. Better yet, get a case.
You do that.
Thank you for sticking around, and now back to where we last left off with the boys.
Gee willikers, this broad's dead.
I guess we found the source of the screaming. What the hell is going on around here?
I don't know. What should we do?
I don't know, but this sure is an odd scene. And look, there's a cigarette. It's still burning.
You're right. Whoever was here couldn't have left long ago. Maybe they're still in the building.
Nah, I bet whoever did this is probably off campus by now. Also, look at this. Girl's dress is soaking wet. And there's a golden ring next to her body. This is all really strange. We better leave before somebody shows up and thinks we did this.
Wait. Before we leave, we should call the police and tell them.
Are you crazy? They'll think we did it.
No, they won't. Why would we call them for a crime that we did? Besides, if we don't call and somebody saw us, we could be pinned as suspects.
Alright, fine. I just wish we hadn't gotten caught up in all this.
Deeply shaken, the boys descend the stairs and walk down the hall in search of the first telephone they can. They check each door and eventually find one unlocked and try to dial 911, but the phone is not working.
Well, it looks like you might get your wish. The lines are all dead. The storm must have knocked them out.
Or the killer did. We should leave now. There's nothing else we can do.
Just as the two students close the door behind them, they hear movement further in the darkness down the hall.
Who's there?
Hey, boys, what are you still doing here? The boys were greeted by the voice of another student named Rod Sterling, a well-liked junior from a family. James notices that Rod is only wearing a shirt and tie and is not carrying his suit jacket, an important part to their school uniform.
Hey, Brad, what are you doing here?
I was just up here studying, and I had to go to the bathroom. Then, for some reason, the lights cut out. Anyways, did you guys hear that scream?
Yeah, we did. We thought it was kind of strange. Anyway, where's your suit jacket? If an administrator sees you, they'll freak.
It's so late, I figured I could just leave it with books. Why do you care so much?
I was just looking out for you. No need to be hostile.
Hey, James, you better go. We still have to find a phone.
Yeah, you're right. Let's look downstairs.
Well, good luck with that, boys. I better go home now. Rod continues in the opposite direction as James and Henry make their way down the hall and down the stairs to the third floor. As James and Henry make their way down the stairs, to their surprise, the lights in this hallway are still on. They walk further down the hallway, where they hear classical music emanating from one of the offices.
Hey, doesn't that sound like the same song we heard up in the clock tower?
Who else could be in the building at this hour?
I don't know. Let's go find out.
As the boys cautiously approach the office, the music slowly grows louder. As they look inside the office, Henry and James see another student named Liam Ronan. He appears to be soaking wet and is fumbling with a few pages in his briefcase.
Hey, Liam, what are you doing up at this hour? And why are you soaking wet?
James grows suspicious after hearing that Henry said that the dead woman was soaked too. Oh, you know, I'm just trying to get out of the rain.
At 2 in the morning?
Well, I was in Stein, and I thought I could just walk through Fenwick to Brooks. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Not so fast, Mr. Nervous. Where are you off to in such a hurry?
I just want to get to bed. Liam picks up his briefcase and begins to head for the office door, but both James and Henry block his path.
We can't let you leave. There's been a murder.
What? No fooling?
James and I saw the dead body ourselves. Now I'll ask again. Why the hurry?
I just want to go to bed. Now get out of my way. I have nothing to do with this murder.
No. Why are you acting all nervous if you have a clean conscience?
Because I'm under a shitload of stress from final. I need to get 3 papers done this week alone.
Liam, take a seat and stay a while.
No, you can't make me. Liam breaks past James and Henry to leave the room and slams the door behind him. Henry attempts to open up the door, but sees that it is locked from the outside.
That bastard locked us in here.
Well, good thing there's a phone in here. Henry, you call the police while I look for a way out.
With the two locked in the room, Henry picks up the phone and talks to the police operator. While Henry is talking, James looks around the room in hopes of finding a key, but what he finds is even more interesting.
Hey, look at all these letters. Liam's been writing to a woman named Jane. You know any Janes?
Can't say I do.
The boys continue to search around the room, way out.
Hey, I found a key. Maybe we can get out of here.
James put the key in the lock, and to his luck, the door opens.
Thank God. The police will be here in 20 minutes to investigate. They said we don't need to stick around, so we better get out of here.
I agree.
As the two boys walk out the door, Henry feels around in his pockets.
Hey James, don't be mad at me, but I think I dropped my wallet up in the clock somewhere.
What do you mean you dropped your wallet?
Well, I got really scared when I saw the girl's body and I just sort of freaked out.
You're kidding me, right?
No man, but I gotta go get it.
Alright, whatever, man. I guess I'll stick around with you. I don't want to be here alone.
The boys walk back up to the 4th floor, with their destination being the murder scene. But James stops Henry halfway down the hall.
Hold on a minute. I gotta take a piss.
Shouldn't wait? Man, I want to get the hell out of here.
Ah, cool your jets. It'll just be a second.
James enters the bathroom and felt his way through the dark lavatory and pushed open a stall door. While unzipping his pants, he flashed the light at the water and notices a glimmer.
That's odd.
James squints and notices the object's silver hue and red stain.
Oh shit, that's no deuce. That's a knife.
Reaching into the murky water, he grabs the bloody tool and runs to the sink, examining it under the faucet. 3 initials emerge from the crusted blood.
RLS. Can't be Rod Sterling, can it?
As his companion is in the bathroom, Henry sat outside with his head in his hands, but from down the hallway near the clock tower, Henry could hear footsteps.
Who the fuck did that?
Emerging from the bathroom, James flashed the blade.
Hey, I found this knife in the bathroom. I think it belongs to Rod.
Yeah, I saw that when I was studying with him last week. Also, when you were in there, I heard someone walking over by the clock tower.
Could the police be here already?
No, it couldn't be. They said they wouldn't be here for a while.
It might be the killer trying to get rid of the body. They must have stuck around and heard us call the police.
Then we better stop them.
In a panicked hurry, James and Henry run towards the clock tower. As they run, they continue to hear footsteps emerging from the room.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, who could that have been?
Guess we're about to find out.
The boys throw open the door and run up the stairs.
Who's up here? Show yourself.
Just as they reach the top of the stairs, lightning illuminates the room, and the boys can see a figure crouching over the woman's body.
Ron, you big dick. You're the one who killed her.
I know. I did, but I'm not going to jail for it. Go away and I won't hurt you. James and Henry begin to approach Rod, but before they can reach him, Rod kicks out a window and crawls through onto the building's roof. Henry and James follow up the window.
Hey, James, be careful. The rain made these tiles here super slick.
Alright, but we gotta catch up to Rod or we'll get away.
The two boys chase after Rod on the trying not to lose their footing. Eventually, Rod slips for a split second, allowing James and Henry to pull. Filled with anger, James begins to question him.
How could you? What did she ever do to you?
She is my girlfriend, okay? I invited her here for a date in the clock tower. I had a little bit too much to drink and I tried to propose to her. But then she said that she couldn't, and that she was leaving me for Liam. And she pulled out one of the stupid notes to show me. And then I just lost control and I couldn't restrain myself. I didn't mean to kill her. I just couldn't imagine Jane Liam.
Is that Jane?
Yeah, of course that's Jane. But still, I'm not going to jail for it. Rod runs from James and Henry in one last attempt to escape. But as he escapes, Rod's feet slip on the tiles and Rod slid down the side of the roof where he caught himself against the gutter.
Rod, no! Don't let go!
I'm sorry, guys. After saying these final words, Rod lost his grip on the gutter. James and Henry stood on the edge of the roof and watched their classmate fall to his death as the sound of sirens drew near.